So you've already set your heart on GKS, you've already written a perfect essay for yourself, and you've already watched a countless number of YouTube videos on GKS. But are you sure that you're submitting your documents correctly? Do you know so many applicants every year get rejected just because they fail to submit the correct documents? So for you to not fall into this trap, I've got your back. Hello, I'm Jannat from India, and I'm 2024 GKS scholar currently studying business administration at Seoul National University. But this time I have something special for my Pakistani viewers. So the special thing for my Pakistani audience is my friend Zain Khalik, who is also a 2024 GKS undergraduate scholar, and he is from Pakistan, Azad Kashmir, and he's studying computer science engineering in my university, Seoul National University. So we both are in the same university, and because the document submission process and the documents required for submission are kind of different in India and Pakistan, so I thought that I should call someone from Pakistan who could better guide my audience for the application process. So yeah.
So hello guys, and yeah, I'll try to make sure that I can contribute to the scholarship process of my Pakistani fellows.
Okay, so for the documents to complete, which is mentioned at the first, like the application form, personal statement, study plan, letter of recommendation, GKS application agreement, and personal medical assessment, these documents are already given to you to fill and submit it, so you don't need to work hard and get these documents issued from everywhere. It's already given, you just need to fill those. So I'll not be talking about these documents, rather I'll be talking about those documents which you need to arrange, which you need to get issued. So required documents and the other documents are the documents which I'm going to talk about in this video. Okay, so for proof of citizenship in India, you can submit either of the two documents. Number one is the voter ID card. So if you have your voter ID card, then you can submit your voter ID card. I hope you know what's a voter ID card. It's made when you reach the age of 18, so to certify that you have the right to vote. I hope that you will know that. And the second thing which you can submit for proof of citizenship, and which is recommended, is a birth certificate. So you need to get I hope that your parents have your birth certificate, which was issued by the registrar. So use the birth certificate, the apostille photocopy of the birth certificate, as the proof of citizenship. For example, this is the birth certificate which I submitted for my GKS application, and it does not directly states my country of origin, but it states that I've been born in Patna, Bihar, India, which indirectly states that India is my country of origin, and thus I'm a citizen of India. I personally submitted my birth certificate because I did not have my voter ID card issued. Another thing which you need to keep in mind, and which is really, really important, which most of the people misunderstand or mess up the application in, is that you don't have to submit your Aadhaar card for Indians as your proof of citizenship. It cannot serve as a proof of citizenship. If you go on Google and you check what can be a proof of citizenship, only voter ID card and birth certificate comes as the proof. Why? Because Aadhaar card does not certify that you are an Indian citizen. Any foreigner, any foreigner who lives in India and becomes a resident in India can get Aadhaar card. So it certifies that you are a resident of India, but you're not a citizen of India. I hope you know the difference between the two terms. Resident is a person who lives in a country for a long time and earns a living in the country, spends money and earns money in the same country. On the other hand, citizen is a person who is born in the country or has gotten the citizenship after specifying the conditions which have been set by that particular country. So Aadhaar card is the proof of your residentship, not citizenship. So make sure that you don't submit your Aadhaar card for proof of citizenship. But for Pakistan, things are a little different.
Okay, so from people from Pakistan, the only document which you need for proof of citizenship is your FRC. What's FRC? FRC is the Family Registration Certificate, and you can just get it from Nadra, and that's it. You don't need to submit any other document. But yeah, like there is a confusion that people think that they can submit birth certificate for this particular document, but I won't be recommending that, because I just submitted the FRC and that's it. And I've seen like in the past people have just submitted the birth certificate and then they got in trouble. So my recommendation would be, if you really want to submit the birth certificate, then you can submit it as an additional document with FRC. But FRC should be there. If FRC is not there, then like there are high chances that your application might get rejected even in the screening process.
So for the graduation certificate, you can either submit any of the two documents for Indians. So after you've completed your studies in your school may issue a certificate which is a graduation certificate, but it may be named as a graduation certificate or a transfer certificate. For my case, my school issued a certificate called the transfer certificate, which is the same as the graduation certificate. Make sure that your graduation certificate mentions the date on which you leave the school, the date on which you graduate. So for me, I submitted something like this. This was the graduation certificate / transfer certificate issued by my school. The other thing which you can submit in India as your graduation certificate is simply your board's result. Your class 12th board's result serves as your graduation certificate, something which has been issued by your board, which looks like this. So I studied from a CBSE board school, so the CBSE board issued my graduation certificate. It can be the graduation certificate issued by any board. Now you may think that this is just a mark sheet, so how can you submit it as a graduation certificate? But if you read the heading of the certificate, it clearly mentions that it's mark statement comes certificate. So mark statement comes certificate, which means that you can submit it as a graduation certificate. Okay, so now Zain will tell you about the graduation certificate in Pakistan.
Okay, so for the graduation certificate thing, like in Pakistan, the graduation certificate is basically called sanad for the board system. So what you have to do is, like most of the boards, they don't issue the graduation certificate early on. Like in some cases, they even issue it like after 1 or 2 years. So you can't wait that much for the scholarship. You have to submit it. It's a compulsory document. So what you have to do is, you'll have to request your board for the issuance of your graduation certificate early on. Because the deadline of the application is in October, and most likely your board won't be issuing the certificate in that tenure. So what you have to do is, you have to request them and get the certificate early on and get ready for the apostille. So yeah, that's it for the graduation certificate.
Okay, so now we come to transcripts. This is the trickiest part of the application, especially when it comes to document submission. Why? Because most of the people confuse between the term mark sheet and transcript. Most people don't know the difference and think that these two terms are synonymous, but that's wrong. Why? Because mark sheets refer to the marks, the sheet, the document which suggests the marks or grades which you've got in one class or in one grade. For example, if you studied grade 9th, you gave the final exam, you got your marks. So the sheet which you get suggesting that, oh, you got this in English and then this in Hindi, and now you are promoted to class 10, that individual sheet is called mark sheet. But what's transcript? Transcript is a sheet which suggests the marks of more than one grade, more than one class. For example, that sheet will suggest the marks of what you got in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th all together. So mark sheet and transcript both are sheets, but mark sheet refers to the grades you've got in one class, whereas transcript refers to the grades you've got in more than one class. So for the GKS application, you need to submit transcript of your high school. So what's a high school? High school may differ according to countries. So for India, you can submit the mark sheets or the transcript of class 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. But here, Even if you don't submit class 9th, it's fine. Because for me, I did not submit my class 9th mark sheet because I lost my mark sheet, class 9th mark sheet, so I was unable to submit it. So you can totally avoid submitting your class 9th mark sheet if you did not manage to get good marks, or for other reasons. You can totally avoid it if you want. But make sure that you submit your class 10th, 11th and 12th transcript. So now, how can you submit a transcript? Now, your schools may definitely be issuing mark sheets of each grade, like mark sheet of class 9, class 10, class 11, class 12. But there are chances that your school may not issue a transcript of combined like 9, 10th, 11, 12th. So in that case, you can go and ask your principal about the transcript. You can go and request her. You can tell her your situation, that I need to apply for this and this scholarship, so can you make a transcript for me? So there are cases that when the principal or the teachers don't exactly get an idea about what's a transcript, and that's totally fine because India does not have this transcript culture. So you can just suggest her, you can tell her what a transcript is, you can give her articles and things like that which she can refer, and maybe request her submit an application and ask your school to issue a transcript for you. So now, in most of the cases, and there are many cases when the principal does not agree to give you a transcript in India, so what you can do in this case is just submit individual mark sheets of class 10th, class 11th, class 12th, and also class 9th if you want. So just submitting individual mark sheets is okay. Sometimes people think that I can't submit individual mark sheets, it will affect my chances of being selected, but that's not the case, because for me, I did get a transcript for myself. I submitted a transcript, but just to be on a safer side, I also submitted the mark sheets of class 10th, 11th and 12th. So if you don't get a transcript, you can definitely go for submitting individual mark sheets. So sometimes people also get worried about the grades conversion thing and the CGPA scale thing, which is mentioned in the GKS application. But that's really intimidating if you look at it at the first time, because you don't understand these things and all that. But it's completely fine. It's very easy. Actually, in India, you don't need to go for conversion, because most of you will be submitting your board certificate of class 10th and 12th. So the board certificate itself is sufficient. You don't need to convert it. Why? Because the board certificate issues a percentage and also point. So the point is a 100-point scale, so it can be converted into percentage automatically. So it's already into a 100-point scale. So you don't need to convert the CGPA using Scholaro or any other website. You don't need to go for conversion, just submit your mark sheets as they are. And also for your class 11th mark sheet or class 9th mark sheet, that will be issued by your school. So you'll be submitting the school mark sheet, but that's also not a problem because most of the schools issue the mark sheet in 100% scale or 100-point scale. So as long as your school is issuing your mark sheet in 100% or 100-point scale, which is mostly the case, it's okay. You don't need to go for conversions. Things are a little different when it comes to Pakistan about transcripts, so I'll let Zain talk about transcripts for Pakistan.
Okay, so for Pakistan, what you need to do is you just have to get your 10th and 12th transcript. The reason for this is, like in our 10th transcript, the marks of 9th are also mentioned, and in our 12th transcript, the marks of 11th are already mentioned. So you don't need to submit the transcript of 9th grade and 11th grade. You only need to submit the transcript of 12th and 10th grade. So how you would be getting those transcripts? So what you have to do is, you don't have to do anything. Your college would be getting your transcript after some time you take your exams. Like whenever your result comes, like after 10-20 days, your transcripts comes to your school. So you just have to go there and ask for it and get it, and that's it.
Okay, so these are all the government and educational documents which you need to submit for this scholarship if you're applying for the undergraduate program. Okay, so there are a list of other documents also mentioned, but most of you will not need those documents unless and until you are an overseas Korean. So now comes the other documents which are not required for you to submit, but which you can submit and is recommended for you to submit. So number 1 is the score report of valid topic or English proficiency test. So if you have given topic test, topic is the Korean proficiency test. So if you have your topic transcript, please submit that. Also, you should know that the topic transcript of only 2 years is valid. Like if you'd given topic within 2 years of when you're applying, only then will the topic transcript be valid. And then if you have your English proficiency test scores, then you need to submit that test score also. So be it TOEFL, be it IELTS, just get a printout. Or the scorecards are usually issued online. Just get a printout of the scorecard and submit it. You don't need to apostille it. Then comes the copy of awards and certificates which you have. So this you can submit as you like. So most of the people think that you can only submit the certificates, but you can submit anything, like anything. You can go creative in this. You can submit the pictures of the events which you participated in, or which you think are very important, but you don't have certificates for that. And then you can also submit other things like research proposals or your excerpts of the articles which were published in newspapers or something like that. So for the certificates, you just take the original certificate, get a printout of it and submit. Now comes the last but the most important part of the application, and that's the passport. Most of the people don't submit the passport because it's not required, but I would really recommend you to submit the passport. Why? Because if be it the case that there comes out a problem in your birth certificate or your voter ID card or in any other proof of citizenship which you're submitting, like your FRC or anything, then the passport can compensate for it. If you have a valid passport submitted along with your documents, then the issue in the birth certificate or other proof of citizenship documents may be overlooked. So it's always a good idea to submit your passport. So especially for those applicants who suspect that there may be an issue in their proof of citizenship documents, just go for submitting your passport. I'm not saying that you can submit your passport as a replacement of your proof of citizenship, but you need to submit both together to be on a safer side. Okay, so now I will be telling you which of these documents you need to apostille. So you are submitting a lot of documents. So out of these documents, the documents which you must apostille are: number 1, proof of citizenship. Whatever you're submitting as your proof of citizenship, like birth certificate, FRC, or voter ID card, you need to apostille it. High school graduation certificate also needs to be apostilled. Either you are submitting a graduation certificate which was issued by your school, or the board certificate, you need to apostille it. Then comes the academic transcript of high school. So here, if you get issued an academic transcript, then that's just one sheet. So you just apostille that one sheet. But if you're not able to get the transcript and you're submitting individual mark sheets, you need to get each mark sheet apostilled. Like if you're submitting 10th, 11th, 12th, then get the 10th apostilled, 11th apostilled, and 12th apostilled. Then comes the topic or English proficiency test scores. You don't need to apostille that. You don't need to apostille any of the awards and certificates which you're submitting for yourself, or any excerpts or research proposals or photographs. You don't need to apostille that. And you don't need to apostille your passport. Passports are never apostilled. Documents to be apostilled remains almost the same in Pakistan also, but I'll let Zen explain you the apostille thing so that things go on correct.
So for Pakistan, the documents to be apostilled or consular confirmed remain the same as India. But the thing which I really like to mention is you just need to apostille your 10th and 12th transcript. And yeah, you need to apostille your graduation certificate of 10th and 12th, which is basically Sanad and FRC. These are the only 5 documents which needs to be apostilled, nothing more than that.
Okay, Zain, so I heard that this year in Pakistan, the consular confirmation requirement has been changed to apostille as in India. Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. Like in Pakistan, before this year, there used to be a like consular confirmation process because the apostillation wasn't implemented in Pakistan. But now this process has been recently implemented, just like 2-3 months ago, and now like you have to get your documents apostille, but it's only for FRC because there's still some things going on in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, so they are not apostilling your graduation certificate and the transcripts, so you still have to get them consular confirmed from the embassy. But if you talk about the FRC, you have to get it apostilled because the embassy is not doing that.
So for India, the apostillation process is really simple. You just need to contact an agency and the agency will do all the work for you. You don't need to worry about that. You just need to sit at home and call an agency, that's it. But I heard that in Pakistan, you need to go door to door at every government official office and ask for the apostille. It's a very hectic process. Is it true?
Yeah, it's really true. Like even when I was applying, it was really tough. You have to go to a lot of places by yourself, and there's not a proper system to do that. So it's really hectic. So yeah, all applicants every time who apply, they need at least 1 to 2 months beforehand to be able to apply for the scholarship, because the application for like the document preparation process is so long that you need to be like so advanced to be able to apply for the scholarship.
So guys, make sure, the guys from Pakistan, please make sure that you start your application process very early, like as early as possible, like 2 months early, 3 months early. That's recommended because that's required if you want to really get accepted to this scholarship without any delay. Okay, so as you know that apostille is a new thing and it's really difficult, it's really hectic, and there are lots and tons of videos on YouTube talking about the apostille process. But of course, it's problematic for you to understand because the information is not systematic, or maybe you're not like used to the term. So if you want to know more about this thing, this is the apostille. If you want to know more about this for India and Pakistan, then you need to subscribe this channel. Yes. So I hope I can gain some followers through this apostille. तो ज़ैन, क्या आप कुछ बोलना चाहेंगे?
हाँ, बस मैं इतना बोलना चाहूँगा यार, जो भी अप्लाई कर रहा है पाकिस्तान से, तो डरो मत यार, मुश्किल है प्रोसेस, बट आपको थोड़ी हिम्मत करनी चाहिए। बहुत टाइम टेकिंग है और बहुत पैसे भी लगते हैं, बट आप अगर एक बार ट्राई करोगे तो इससे बहुत हाई चांसेस है आपके स्कॉलरशिप लग जाने के, अगर आपको प्रोसेस अच्छे से पता है। सो मैं फिर से रिक्वेस्ट करूँगा कि यार इसके चैनल को प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब कर लो। ऑनेस्टली आपको बहुत अच्छी इंसाइट्स मिल जाएंगी, क्योंकि मोस्टली जो मसला होता है वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स में ही होता है लोगों के, एज़ कम्पेयर टू कि आप अगले प्रोसेस में जाओ, क्योंकि अच्छे कैंडिडेट्स भी स्क्रीनिंग प्रोसेस में रिजेक्ट होते देखे हैं मैंने। सो आई वुड रियली रिकमेंड कि आप इनके चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो। बाकी मैं इनसे बोल दूंगा कि मेरा इंस्टा अगर ये दे दें तो आप इंस्टा पे जाके मुझे जो क्यूरी ना पूछना, सॉरी ये थोड़ा मेरा भी हो गया है प्रमोशन। सो हाँ यार, मतलब देख लेना, मेरे भी जाके इंस्टा को फॉलो कर दो। तो हाँ, यही था। आई होप कि यार तुम लोगों को सिलेक्शन हो जाए, और हाँ मेहनत करते रहो, और हाँ प्लीज सब्सक्राइब करो यार, सब्सक्राइब करोगे।
And also follow my Instagram.